guys, Miss Trouts here. I'm super excited about today's lesson because we're going to go over some free resources that you have at home as long as you have a device and you have internet. Okay, so the first free resource we're going to go over is this website from Fresh Artist Workshop. They're this awesome company that gives out free resources for kids and in different schools and teachers. And what they have done is they have put together all these images for a free resource for you to look at. And it's super exciting because you can go and look at all these images. We'll check them out online and you'll see what I'm talking about. The other free resource is Sketchpad. Sketchpad is an online program that you just need your device and you need internet. And if you're using Sketchpad, it's a graphic design program that you can draw and you can use type and all different sorts of elements of art. You don't need a pen, you don't need a pencil, and this is where we have to talk about what you can use with Sketchpad. So Sketchpad, you'd have to use a device where you had internet. So you can actually use a phone with Sketchpad. If you have to use a phone, you can use one with Sketchpad. Okay, the other thing, iPads and tablets, they work perfect with Sketchpad. So for those of you who are working on an iPad to do all your work or a tablet, you got it. You can do this. Now Chromebooks, my school just handed out several Chromebooks to our students. So I know those parents are excited to get working on Google Classroom and on programs using technology, and I'm super excited to introduce Sketchpad for my students and several out there because once you see this program and you realize it's free, you'll be drawing all day, except when you have to do your work. You have to do your work. Get it all done. So I want to go over this one more time. What you need is a device you can have the device and you need the internet for today's project. So I'm going to ask you now, will this work? No, this won't work. This is Bean. He's a dog and he doesn't have internet. So it's a no-go. Okay, will this work? Absolutely. It's a device that has internet. It will totally work. Will this work? Oh yeah, it's a device with internet. Totally gonna work. So I'm super excited. As you can see, I'm pretty hyped. Let's start making some art. Now you can see I have no browser up right now, and like I said, you can use a iPad, you can use a phone, and you can use a Chromebook or a laptop, anything that's a device with a browser. So on your browser, I'm going to use Chrome because I think that that's the most recognizable, and it has Google right away. And I'm on a Mac, but like I said, you could use whatever is easiest for you. So all you need to do once you get into Chrome, you need to go to your address bar and you need to type in the URL, which is the address, the destination you want it to go, and mine goes right to it. You want to type freshartists.org. So that's what you want to type right there. And you can always pause it so you can see it, and I'll have it larger too. So I'm going to hit freshartists.org, and once I get to this site, all this beautiful imagery pops up, and this is it's down here, the Hydro Project. So it's going to be in for kids and parents. Once I click on that, here it is, the Hydros Project. The Hydros Project, it talks about it. Let me click on that for you, about the project. And these are the images we're going to be using for our project, and I can't wait to show you. So this is a little bit about that Hydros project and what happened, and it says just a little bit. It says the Fresh Artist Workshop, the Fresh Artists, they are bringing fabulous marine biology content to our digital matching game project, and we're going to go over that digital matching game project. And it goes on to tell you that how excited they are that they collaborated, and the images that this project turned out are just fabulous. So I'm super excited. Plus, they're a free resource for you to draw from, and you have the perfect opportunity because once we get into digital drawing, you'll have these beautiful images to work with. So I'm going to go right back to the original link and do that once again, just so you know where you're going. I'm going to do it one more time. We're under For Kids and Parents. After we went to Fresh Artist Workshop, we go to For Kids and Parents. And then down here, I went to these images for the Hydro Project. It talked about the matching game online. Here it is, the matching game online. And we're going to go over the images again, but I want you to see what the end result was here and what they turned these into. So I'm going to hit play and submit for the matching game. And it says play collection games. I'm going to go there. And all this beautiful artwork, that's previous artwork for this matching game, which is so fantastic. All beautiful artwork. I'm going to click on play now, and you can see that a matching game pops up. Now, Miss Trouts is no good at memory, not good at all, but I'm going to try for you. So if I open up a first square, an image pops up, which is a student artwork. And, ooh, hope I can remember that. Oh, nope. I am no good at this, but I will try. I'm trying. Oh, I do recognize something here. Nope. Oh. Okay, I have to get at least one just to show you what happens. And hopefully I can get one because I'm not really that good. I told you. I've already mentioned that. Yay! Okay, so there it goes. So those two tiles, they're gone now. I got one. That's all I really wanted you to see is it, and I'm sure you'll be way better. It's a time thing. But what I'm super excited about is that you have the opportunity to submit your work, and it shows your artwork down here. And then it has these tiles here, like you saw, with all your artwork in there, a certain amount. Now, that has to be a certain size, and it has to be done a certain way so that we can submit it. But anybody can come here and submit if you have enough work. And then Artist Workshop, they check your work to make sure it's okay. Just make sure the content is all right. And then what they do is they make a game out of it. So it's fantastic. So I'm going to go back to For Parents and Kids because You always go back to that link to find these 3 things. This is a beautiful My Weekend Art Kit. It comes with all these things, and you can click on it, check that out if you want. But for right now, we're going to talk about the matching games online, and we're going to talk about this Hydros project. So when I go about project, there we go. It's going to bring me to more links, which it says the new branches gallery. Those are those undersea creatures. Undersea fish gallery, undersea creatures gallery, coral gallery, and download the lesson. So you can do the lesson at home if you wish. I'm going to go on with my own type of lesson because I want my kids to do it digitally. So I'm going to go to undersea gallery. I just want you to see what is there. It's beautiful. So colorful, lots of imagery, free resource. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. It is gorgeous. I am a particular fan of yellow, so I'm going to click on that. And you can see it enlarges the image. And you can see it's a school of yellowfish. Well, yeah, definitely is there. Ooh, sharks. I'm so afraid of sharks. Ooh, ever watch Shark Week? Ah, this is nice and colorful. So you have the mandarin fish. I mean, I might leave this. I'm going to leave this up here. I'm going to use this image. So our next venture is another free resource. We're all about the free resources. I'm going to hit the plus sign on my browser. If you're using a tablet or you're using a phone, you might have to open up a new window and just go back and forth. But as long as you have internet and a device, you're good today. So up on this address bar, I'm going to type in the URL. Actually, it's going to Google it for me. I'm going to type in Sketchpad. And I'm not going to put sketchpad.com. I'm just going to put Sketchpad. And what I come up with is the first thing, Sketchpad 5.0. There's different programs, but I want to use Sketchpad 5.0. So I'm going to click on that. My kids at school love this. So this is an ultimately awesome free resource for you to draw at home and be happy and merry and just drawing to your heart's content with no mess. And I just love it. So I'm going to go over these tools. This is the first thing I'm going to do is go over tools. So the tools, you have your selection tool, you have your cropping and resizing tool, you have your zoom tool, which lets you zoom in and out of your drawing. You have the star tool is really just the shape tool, but the star is up right now. But if I click on that, then you get your options below to change anything that you click on, you get your options below. So say I went on the calligraphy tool, I would have my options down here and I would be able to click and you see all these. You have the tile brush, pencil, pen, paintbrush, line, path, arrow, sketchy, all these different things. The mirror tool, my kids can't get enough of that. But right now we're gonna be drawing probably with the pencil, pen, paintbrush, because we're gonna look at that fish. We're gonna start drawing, okay? So here I have the calligraphy tool. That's what I'm on now. Now if I go to the text tool, I have all these different fonts and I can choose one and I can use the text. We have clip art. We're not going to use that today. That's not what our project's about. We have the vector fill, which that's a whole different lesson. Today we're just going to be drawing. So I really want you to focus on the calligraphy tool and the options here. I also want you to focus on the fill to be able to fill in something when you're drawing and the outline. Here's size. This matters too because it's about, say you're using, here we have the calligraphy tool on. I'm going to use the pencil tool. I can change my width of my pencil here. This is where I would change the color and how I would fill it in. I'm going to use flat color right now. And I am going to pick a color. So what am I going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to pick my colors, and that fish was blue. So there's blue. And I'm just drawing anything, and it filled it in, as you can see. That's not a fish, obviously. So now if I want to click off that and I just want to pick a color from here and be able to draw, I can use this to draw with, which is so nice. So I'm just playing around with the tools. So what I want you to do first lesson, if you've never been on Sketchpad with Miss Trouts, then I want you to play with Sketchpad, and I'm going to stop the video here. I'm going to stop this part. You can pause it and just play around with the tools that I talked about. That's going to be the first unit, just playing around with those tools. The first part, just playing around with the tools. We have our pictures up. We know where to get our pictures. They're on Fresh Artist. And then we just want to play around with this pencil, these colors, and just do that for just a moment, okay? Just for the like 5 minutes, just play around. I want you to pause my video, play around with this, and then I want you to come back to this video. So I'm going to let you pause right here. That's it. Okay. All right. So we just paused and we played with the tools. Now let's look back at the Fresh Artist fish. I'm going to get rid of this just so it's easier for me, and I only have 2 things up. There we are. So I have my fish and I have Sketchpad. I have my fish and I have Sketchpad. So I can keep on going back and forth if I wish. Or I can open up a new window for just so that you guys can see. I'm going to keep this open. File, new window, just so it's easier for you to see what I'm doing. And making it smaller. Here we are. And we are going to Sketchpad. Not sketchpad.com, just Sketchpad. So we can go to Sketchpad 5.0. This is up. It opens up where I was. Now, say I don't like my drawing, because obviously that does not look like the fish that is on this side. Does not look like that fish. So I can use an eraser tool and I can also, here it is, eraser, right in there. See how you can just erase it if you need to. The other thing you can do to get rid of a whole image like this is you can start over. That's one option. The other option is you can use the selection tool and delete. So that works also. I can go over the whole thing and get rid of it that way. Okay, so I do not want to move this. That's not what I wanted to do. Here it is. Yes. Okay. So now I'm looking at this fish, and for me, I'm going to start out with my pencil tool, and I'm going to just do a similar shape of the fish. So I'm grabbing my pencil. I have it on blue. I want the size, I may try it up here. I want the size smaller, like thin. So I'm looking at the fish's shape, and I'm just doing a contour line. Doesn't have to be perfect. I want you to try your hardest, but this is about you're making your 6x6 in the end. I'll talk about how to save it, but here we are. I'm using the line tool. I'm getting the outline. This is cool. And I'm going to speed this up too so that you don't have to wait for me to be done. Save it, which would be down here, save, export, and you can save it as Sketchpad and download because it's your device. There it is. You can open that up in Sketchpad. So here I have my square. I'm just covering the whole thing with, and what I want to do is I wanted to send it to the back. So that's right up here, editing. And as you can see, that red really looks pretty behind that fish. And what I want to do is I want to add some green, like he's swimming through the ocean. It would have some green, so I'm going to use color. Ooh, I didn't want that. I just hit edit undo, which is Control Z. And let me go back. I don't want to be on this square. I want to add my own thing. So I am going to go to the brush, perfect, and I want to go to green, like sea life. And I want to add, I want to use this brush. And I could add all kinds of things to the background, like he's swimming through some sea life. Now, what this is a complete work of art because it has the background, it has the object in the foreground here, and then you have the, elements that I'm adding in now, which make it look, if I made this a 6 by 6 square, it would be perfect. So what we're going to do now is, I did want to add just a little bit of more blur this up. There we are. See, it looks more like, and make this brush size. So it looks like there's stuff behind. It's just what I wanted. But so there's my digital artwork. Nice and colorful. Use the tools. I have my image here that I can look at. I didn't make it exactly like it, but it looks pretty good. It's my artwork, so there we go. All right, so now I'm going to save it, Sketchpad, download. Now, let's check this out. If I want to crop, it'll tell me the size on that right there, the width and the height. And it's in pixels. But I want to make it a square. Right like that. So that I can get that 6 by 6. I'm just keeping it a square like that. I'm going to apply crop. And there it is, that square. Okay. So now when I save it, again, to export it, I save right from here. And I'm going to save it as a JPEG. Now I'm going to check that out again. I'm going to save again because I want to see, it didn't give me the resolution. If I go to the JPEG, there it is, there it is. If I go to JPEG, this is key, ladies and gentlemen. This is 72 DPI. I want you to save it to at least 150. 150. That means that we can make it smaller if we want, but it's going to be at least 6 by 6 at 150. So I'm going to download that, and that downloads right here. And I'm going to look at my image. There it is. I'm going to make sure I have that saved to my photos. If I'm doing it on a tablet, I'm going to make sure I have that saved to my desktop if it's on my computer or a file. And so what I'm going to do is, that's perfect, it's right here. And I'm going to name that, leave the JPEG because that's your extension right here, that's your extension. You want to leave that ending. I'm going to save it as fish one. That's how easy that is. It's going to my downloads, but you choose where you want it to go. Make sure if you need help, get your parents to help you save, but you saw where the save button was, and that's it. And that's saved. So there's my first artwork. I hope you have fun. Please post your artwork. I'd love to see it. And for my students at school, I'm going to be checking the Google Docs and to see like how you did and what you used. And we're going to have like 2 questions to answer about how you felt about using the image along with the drawing. Was it hard? How did you feel about that? So check out my questions about this and the tools. All right. Questions about the tools. All right. Have a good day, guys. Love ya. Bye.